This morning with Brindlee Mountain and Coach Keith Garner. Known Coach a long time.
Ooh,
I believe 19 years for you,
Long.
or 20.
long. Yes, sir. Yes.
Sixth season at Brindlee Mountain. And Coach, would you introduce the guys with you this morning and then give us a preview on the Lions for 2021?
I sure will. To my right here, we got a young man that's a sophomore, Ian Garner, no relation. When he does something good on the field, I might pull that out of the hat and use it. But he's a sophomore quarterback. And then here we've got Caleb Scott, senior tight end, split end, and really do it all for us. Punter, kicker, maybe, possibly, and all-around team captain. And then down on my far left is a young coach coming up, just getting started with us. He's actually a Brindlee Mountain guy, raised up in the school system when it started, and Caleb London is a guy that's really involved with all these kids, and he's going to be one of the reasons why you see a little bit of improvement out of Brindlee Mountain this year. Yeah, it's we're excited, and I'll tell you this time last year, when they had put the clamps on us not coming up to the school in our normal format, we might get 5 or 6 kids coming in to work out and get my hands on them, and gosh, when they started school even later, well into football season, it really threw us in a tailspin. And I'll be honest with you, we sat in that office day after day wondering how in the world we were going to recover, how we were going to get kids, and how we were going to be ready to tee a football up and play. And then lo and behold, we get ready for that first ball game, scrambling around, and we find out one of our guys, his entire family at home had the virus, and he had been coming back up, and he wanted to play. He's really a good guy, a great leader, but he did not want to sit himself out of football. And so we find out about that, and we get into this thing of, well, we got to shut it down. You know, at that point, going into game one, we didn't know if we all had it, nobody had it, or somewhere in between. So to make a long story somewhat shorter, things are much better this summer. And we've had about 20 kids consistently, and for us, that's good. And you can see a change happening. You can feel the difference being around the kids. For the first time in several years, we've actually got Pee Wee football started, and that's going to be a big drive in the long-term development. And development is the key word at Brindlee Mountain. Development's been a struggle. Development takes consistency, day after day, year after year, playing the game you love. And at Brindlee Mountain, it's been a revolving door where kids come in, kids leave. Principals come in, they leave. Coaches come in, they leave. And we feel like we've got some stability now. And these guys are prime examples. They've been playing since I've been there. And Caleb right here, and he's really blossomed. He's the typical senior that when he starts out playing as a 9th and 10th grader, he's getting his butt kicked, to put it bluntly, on Friday nights. And it's been that way for a while. And as he's developed, we saw it in the spring, it just became a different person. And that's, you see these guys doing it. And now, believe it or not, he's still a young guy. He won't turn 18 until after he graduates. So he's got a lot of, his best football's ahead of him. And what I'm saying is, for Brindlee Mountain, our best football is ahead of us, and we're starting to piece things together. The pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together, and we're excited. And I will say this. Let me throw this in about Coach London to my left. This young guy is also a youth pastor in the area, and I really, a little over a year ago, he was working in a hospital in Huntsville, and he came out and wanted to volunteer coach. And I could see immediately the relationships that he formed and how well he worked with kids. And it's a that old saying, rules without relationships. What that'll get you. And so he has come in. It's been a big plus. Evan Lemon's another Brindlee Mountain guy that's been around. An educator has been a big plus. We've been able to get him a little more involved with us. And two, Caleb's in his early 20s. Evan, I would say, is in his late 20s as a guess. And, they crank up that crazy music they listen to now. And I can't understand a word of it. And sometimes I don't want to understand. And I keep walking through. I walk through the weight room. I don't want to be held down to what I might hear. So, but they love it, and we're excited. And I'm telling you, as coaches, we'll sit around and now, instead of shaking our heads left and right, now we're nodding our heads at the end of the day, saying, you know what, we've got a chance. And that's all we need is just a chance.
Well, Coach, obviously you and I are not in our 20s, but let me ask you. You mentioned 20. You mentioned 20 players been working this summer. How many do you expect to field on that first Friday night when you play Holly Pond? How many starters do you have returning? Can you give us your squad size? Last year at this time, you had 6 seniors and 12 juniors. Have all those juniors moved up to seniors this year?
No, they have not. And it's the typical Brindlee story. It's, there are kids coming up you expect to be there and stay there and grow. And for one reason or another, they may turn to one sport and say they want to specialize. And that's all fine and good. But we should have 30 kids when we play that opening night. And I looked over the numbers today, and I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 or 8 freshmen, maybe 12 to 13 sophomores. We've got a really small junior class of 3 or 4, and then we've got 6 or 7 seniors. But now that's a little misleading. Out of those 6 or 7 seniors, 4 or so have not played before. So they've waited until their senior year to come out. Obviously, that's not what you want, but here at Brindlee, we'll take it.
Coach London is a full-time staff?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
And you have one other assistant? Donnie?
Well, and Coach Stevens, Donnie Stevens,
Right.
is with us, and so Mark Franklin is another young guy that was with the junior high last year, and we're gonna have to combine our roles and work them together and be creative, be very process oriented, very much be smart in how we do things.
You're expecting 30. You had like 55 total out for spring, including junior high.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right, including junior high. So we're looking for 20 kids to hang on, 20 to 25 in junior high, and a 30 at our level, and so that'll be about right.
That's significantly better than last year.
It's better. And I'm here to tell you that that situation with COVID last year, and then back in school up into 2 weeks of the football season, that really hurt us. We have, yeah, that's right. We have to have those buses running to get everybody there.
Coach, over here to your left, Good to see you
Boys,
again.
good to
First
see
of all, I'm
you.
looking forward to talking with you this fall.
Yeah.
First of all, a couple of questions, one for you, one for the players. First of all, you mentioned the Pee Wee program. That's something that Brindley Mountain has not had, and I don't know that it's ever had it. So what are you looking forward to that to kind of be a booster tonight? Obviously, it's not going to necessarily affect this year per se, but the program long term. And also for you guys, you're here today at Media Day. Your coach obviously thinks highly of you. What do you guys expect as leaders of yourselves? How do you expect to affect the team this year? So, Coach, we'll get you to start and then go with the kids.
Let me say this, and it's boy, it's a big step. I believe they had Pee Wee football back 7 or 8 years ago, and they ran into a problem with money. Imagine that, and so. Believe it or not, I'm going to give you a number, and first of all you guys out there are going to think I'm lying when I tell you this. Now, not that I've not ever stretched the truth before, but this is an honest number. Rocky Nepper is running that thing, and he's doing a great job overseeing it, and we've got 74 kids making up 3 Pee Wee teams. I didn't know we had that many boys in the Brindlee Mountain area. And I had been digging into it back early last spring, and kept and wondering, how do we start it? What do we do? And come to find out, we've had kids going up to Arab and playing in their league, and I thought, you're kidding me. And I talked with Rocky, and he's he confirmed it, and one thing led to another, and we've got this ball rolling. Now they play their jamboree on August 14th there at Brindlee, and he's had to go around. And for those of you that don't realize it, getting your hands on any kind of equipment, anything at all, is backed up. We're all hurting for whatever we need, and so he's gone around to different towns and picked up helmets, and so that Brindlee Mountain Pee Wee team will be there strong on that August 14th, starting it all over again. Boy, it's going to be an exciting time. But you'll look out there and you'll see a blue helmet, a gold helmet, a white helmet. Might see a red thrown in there, and that's okay. We'll always remember that started it. So, and I would imagine, knowing these guys, you're going to have to repeat that question to them.
What's it going to be like for you guys being here? Coach obviously thinks highly of you as leaders. What do you guys expect not only for yourself, but how you can affect the other team this year?
You go first.
I mean, I guess just like being the leader I need to be, and being an example to my team on and off the field. You got anything?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of improvements in everybody, and they highly look up to Scott and all the coaches around. They respect all the coaches. They've improved. I feel like they're all going to work this year for what we want to earn. Just if they keep working, we can do it.
All right, Coach. Thanks a lot. Thanks to you and the players coming this morning to Media Day. I know you open against, I believe, Holly Pond at home on the 20th. We wish you the best for the 2021 season, and thanks for coming this morning.
I appreciate you, and actually, because of the COVID cancellations, we're going to have to be on the road and go back to where we canceled. We'll actually play our first 6 games on the road. October 1st, we come home. So, and that'll be fine. That'll be okay. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.